Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our final virtual student panel for April 2015. We have 6 fabulous students. We will be joined by another one in about a half an hour to answer any and all of your questions you have about student life here on campus. We will be going until about 8:30 Eastern Time, so if you have questions, Oberlin blogs, that's where it's at. And I'm going to mute myself, and we're going to launch right into the introductions.
All right, so I guess I'm going first. My name is Emily. I'm in the class of 2015. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a comparative literature and German literature major. Aside from that, I do a lot of singing. I sing in our early music vocal ensemble, Collegium Musicum. I do all-female a cappella and nothing but treble. I'm a tour guide. I'm on the Oberlin blogs, so if you feel like learning a lot about me, you can do so there. And I'm graduating in May, and after I leave, I'm going to be an English teaching assistant in Germany through the Fulbright Fellowship. Sorry, can't talk today, apparently.
Cool. My turn? Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Hyacinth. She, her, hers. I'm from San Francisco, and I am an environmental studies major with a focus on urban studies, and then I'm minoring in Spanish and maybe creative writing. We'll see. I'm on the club soccer team. I'm an RA. I love swing dancing, so I've been involved in that. And I'm in Oberlin College Dialogue Center, which is like a whole, I don't know, it's a whole thing, but it's really interesting. Yeah, and I have to leave early. I have to leave at like 7:55 because I have an OWL session, I'm taking this bio class called Environmental Biology, and they have like a tutoring session every Sunday and Thursday for like anybody who wants to drop by just to ask questions. So I have to go to that. Yeah, and I'm a sophomore, if I didn't say that already.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. My name is Jenny. My PGPs are she, her, and hers. I'm a first year, so technically I don't have a major yet, but I'm planning to major in environmental studies as well, with maybe a focus of environmental economics. Some of the things I do on campus, I cook a lot of food. I'm in Tycho Exco with Matt. That's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's it so far.
Hi, I'm Jossie. I'm a senior. I'm majoring in comparative American studies, and I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm used to she, her, and hers, sorry. I do a lot of things. I'm really involved in a lot of activism on campus, and a lot of work in the community. I actually have to leave a little early also, like Hyacinth, because I have a meeting with all the other Oberlin College students who teach third grade Spanish in the elementary schools. And yeah, I teach third graders. They're really cute. And I'm also in a co-op, and I'm in a choir, and I work for admissions.
Solid. So it looks like I'm next. My name's Matt. I'm a double degree student here. So I'm both a jazz trombone major and also a computer science major. So yeah, play a lot of music on campus. I perform with a couple groups. I don't know. I'm also in the Tycho Exco, which definitely do. Yeah, I don't know. I live in a program house. That's cool.
Yay, program houses!
Yeah, that's me.
Yay. All right, I'm going next. My name is Rand. I use she, her, and hers. I'm a third-year architecture major, which is an individual major that I get to create. It's awesome. I said I'm a third year. I'm an international student, so I do a lot of things with international students organization.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Somebody muted.
Jocelyn muted Rand.
No, I was trying to unmute her.
Oh.
Good.
Sorry.
Did that work?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I'm an architecture major, and I'm also, it's an individual major, and I'm a Bonner Scholar, so I do a lot of service around campus. And I work at the communications office. I do a lot of graphic design, so I design a lot of the posters around campus. And I also need to leave early for a friend's birthday, so yeah.
So, should we go in order? In terms of who chose
I'll
over?
start off.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, so the first question here is, why did we choose Oberlin? For me, in high school, I played a lot of music. I was really like a band geek to the max. So, I definitely wanted to do that. That was for sure, 100%. I wanted to major in music. But also, I thought it was kind of limiting to go to a school where you could only do music, and especially because I think there's a lot of things that you don't get the chance to do. You don't get any opportunity to do in high school. So I was looking for a place where I could do music, but also sort of explore some things I didn't get a chance to do as much in high school. Double degree was perfect for that. And then when I came as a prospe, everyone I met was so cool and so interesting. Like, I feel like everyone I met was interested in something unusual, but like really passionate about it. And I love that. I think that's so cool. So actually, my first night here, my host asked me, "Do you want to go blues dancing?" And I was like, I didn't know what blues dancing was. I was like, absolutely, let's go, for sure. And it ended up being like the most positive experience I'd had, like, at any college ever anywhere. So yeah, I was sold at that point. I was like, can't wait to come to Oberlin. So that was sort of my decision-making process there. Yeah. That's me.
I can go. Yeah? Okay, cool. I'll go. Why did I choose Oberlin? Well, I wanted a school that was farther away from California, and I said East Coast, and Ohio counted as the East Coast to my California mind. Yeah, which I now know is not the case, but still. And I really I think it was really the people, because I applied to a bunch of like small liberal arts schools, and I figured the academics were the same, the size was the same, the like general location and not difficulty to get to, but like, same amount of travel from airport or to city was the same. And so it was really, the people who pushed me over and pushed me into choosing Oberlin. Like, I came and everybody was just goofy and had like their own bright personalities. I randomly wandered into blues dancing when I got here. Like, it was, I think, like 11:50. Did not know where I was kind of lost on campus. And then I ran into my admissions counselor, who was also blues dancing. It was just one of those weird, like, oh shoot, I guess this was kind of meant to be. Just like the fact that he came out of the crowd. I was like dancing with this, I don't know, random person. And he was like, oh, how'd you find this? And I was like, I have no idea. Yeah, just everything from him being really nice and like all of the kids who I was dancing with were really great, and just watching everybody, I don't know, Oberlin students, I would say, generally look like interesting people, and I think that like their look matches with their personality in a good way.
I can go next, I guess. I originally was interested in Oberlin because I wanted to do dual degree. I did a lot more singing even than I do now in high school. And I'm from the East Coast, so that's kind of how Oberlin came on my radar. But then as I figured out more what I wanted to do, I realized I didn't want to do dual degree. I was still pretty sold on Oberlin because I had visited and done a tour, and I liked the vibe of the students. I really liked the campus. Sort of similar to what you guys were talking about, just I met really interesting people at Oberlin. Yeah, and then I just decided to come here based on that visit, basically, and what schools I got into, of course. Anyone else wanna?
Should we all go? I can go. So my mom went to Oberlin, which is pretty common here. I like OBs love other OBs. The alumni network is huge here. And so I'd heard about Oberlin from a really long time, and around high school I started to get really interested in social justice work, especially food justice. So that was pretty important to me. And I was looking at basically small liberal arts schools in the Midwest, because Ohio was totally Midwest to me, coming from Massachusetts. And Oberlin's the only place I didn't overnight at, but just the whole time, I mean, really, it's just echoing what everyone said. Everyone was so friendly and so smart and engaging, and I just could really see myself here.
Cool, I can go next. I didn't really fully choose Oberlin. I'm an international student, like I said, so I never really heard of Oberlin. But I came through this program from Syria, and the founders of the program really loved Oberlin. They knew a couple OBs that I talked to, and they said a lot of good things about Oberlin. So I said, yeah, why not? I applied and I got in, and they gave me a good scholarship, so that's a really good thing. And I'm really glad I did, because it's a lot of fun. Doesn't have a lot of people, so it's not really overwhelming. And it's something that I love a lot about Oberlin.
Oh, okay, it's my turn. So I didn't technically get to choose Oberlin because I'm through the Posse scholarship, the Posse Foundation scholarship, and so I was actually matched with a school, and then I got to come here. But I did kind of get to choose. So I had actually known someone that came to Oberlin a few years back, and she told me how great of an experience that she had here, and she loved her experience, and so I was like, oh great, let's go. And it was far enough away from home where I didn't have to deal with parents and everything, but at the same time, it was close enough where it wasn't like too bad of like a drive or anything. It was like 5 hours. I'm from Chicago. But yeah. Okay. So the next question is, do you feel you made friends easily at Oberlin? That is a question I can answer really well. So one of the things that I had to go through was I actually didn't have a lot of friends in high school, and I kind of like was worried a lot, especially coming to Oberlin thinking that, oh my god, there's going to be so many smart people, and I don't know, like, I'm not going to fit in. And then actually my time as a prosby here, I got to be with someone else who hosted me at Third World, which is one of the program houses, and like she was basically like my friend. Like she made my experience so worthwhile. Her name's Yari, by the way, and she showed me around, and she like basically acted super crazy and everything. I was like, oh my god, like I can be stupid and like weird and like fit into, and so from that point on, like knowing her and then being able to establish my own group of friends here. Like I have a really big group of friends that I always hang out every day, and so it was really easy to make friends.
For me, sorry.
Go for it.
Okay. For me, I was very nervous about the whole idea of finding
Okay, I'll go.
friends.
Yeah, so
Dusty,
Uh-oh. I think she can't hear me.
I don't think you can hear Rand.
oh, sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I go?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so I was very nervous about this whole thing, but then again, because I came here a week earlier as an international student and also as a Bonner Scholar, I made a lot of friends my first week. I made more friends than I feel like I made more friends than I did my whole stay in Oberlin, but still, people were very friendly. I lived in Barrows, so that's a freshman dorm, and I made a lot of friends over there as well. And through programs and organizations and everything, I made like it wasn't that hard for me to make a good circle of friends, and most of them I still hang out with since freshman year. So yeah, you can go now.
You got it.
Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to Oberlin because I was hoping that people here would be really passionate about the same things I was passionate about. And I remember reading in one of the million like college guidebooks, it was like Oberlin is like the place for all the social misfits in high school. And I really feel like that's true in a lot of ways. I've met so many people here who, you know, yeah, like didn't go to prom. I don't know. I didn't go to prom. And things like that. Although I'm sure that if you are very popular in high school, you will excel here as well. But I really felt like at Oberlin I met so many people who had the same passions and ideas, but also really people who've had really different experiences who have taught me a lot. And yeah, I've met amazing people through so many different ways.
Yeah. I guess sort of y'all were sort of talking about groups of people. For me, immediately what came to my mind was like one specific person who I feel like I've got a really strong connection with. And it worked out really well. He was my roommate for my first year. And like that doesn't happen for everyone, you know, but for me at least, they did a really good job matching me and my roommate. And we ended up, like, we are now just like the best of friends. We hang out and like eat with each other every single day, and like I don't know, every weekend we're doing some crazy shenanigans. It's really cool. And so yeah, I was worried, especially because I felt like I didn't do freshman housing or anything like that. So I was like, I'm not gonna be able to like meet other freshmen. But my roommate was like so good. He was awesome. Coop and Martin, shout out to him. We're gonna be roommates again next year as well. So looking forward to that.
Okay.
Cool. So the next question is from Jack. So shout out to Jack. How do you choose your roommate? And what happens with roommates after your first year? So I think, if my memory serves me right, ooh, the light just turned off in here. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, well, I'm gonna speak. I am the knight now. Yeah. So how do I choose my? I think I filled out a survey or like a questionnaire about my like interests and like bedtime and taste of music and stuff, and I'm pretty sure Res Ed looks at the survey and tries to match you with people who are kind of similar in terms of like I don't know, taste in music and bedtimes and stuff. I'd say bedtime is super important because if you go to bed at 11 every day and your roommate goes to bed at 2 every day, that's like a recipe for disaster. So like for sure on the survey when you're filling out your bedtime, make that very accurate because that's super important. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's how I ended up with my first roommate. And then after that, you can request roommates. If you want to, you just say, like, I want to be roommates with this person. And you have, like, a number that you get when you become a student. You ask your friend for that, and you both try to hook up with each other to be roommates. I may have phrased that a little strangely. But, yeah. I think that's how the process works.
Nice. I can go. Yeah, I guess that was pretty straightforward to answer. I don't know. My roommate and I got along really well. I don't live with them anymore. Oh, they use they, them, and theirs. Yeah, I don't live with them anymore just because I am an RA, and so yeah. Also, having my own space has been fantastic. Having a single is so great. Um, yeah, I don't know. We were just we got along really well, and like we were compatible, and they always drank tea and would offer me some, and I'd always offer them my chocolate, so that worked out. Yeah, we never were best friends just because we had very, like, not incredibly different personalities, but they were really interested in biology and, I don't know, a whole other genre of things. And, like, yeah, I don't know, just different people. But I still see them every now and then. We'll still go out to tea, and it's really nice. Yeah, it's been a good experience.
So because I am a first year, I didn't technically get to choose my roommate, so we had to go through selection else. I would say, like, if you ever do get the chance to choose a roommate, just my roommate is telling me to talk about her. Well, what's really great is that even though I didn't get to pick my roommate, the selection process was really good, I feel like, because in a program house, they kind of really consider, like, they really try their best to match with people with similar interests. Although, even though my roommate, Eliza, and I don't really have a lot of common interests, we still get along really well. And I say just, like, as long as you kind of set up, like, you know, rules at the beginning and just, like, letting each other know, like, what's good and what's not good, and on the survey, like, just be so, like, honest. Like, just be honest. Like, don't be scared to say, like, oh, I don't like people smoking or whatever, or, like, I don't like loud noises or eating, or I don't know. But just be honest with what you want from your roommate, and what you want in general, and then I think it should work out. Because even if you don't have common interest, as long as you are able to establish that, then I think you can get a really good experience.
Yeah, I can go next. This is my favorite question, something I always talk about. I used to live with my first year roommate, and she was awesome. I think Razed did a great job. Like everyone else said, it's very important to fill the survey at the beginning and just be very honest and straightforward. Say everything that you want and feel, and just like feel very strongly about it. It's very important. And my roommate, Callista, shout out to Callista, she was awesome, very understanding from the first day. Oh, I remember also when we first move in, we have to like talk about some things about the room and condition, and not only condition, just like our rules and what we like and don't like. So that worked out perfectly as well. My second year, I lived in Tank in a single, but we still hung out a lot. And this year, we're living in a house together. So it works out very well. But again, like you have to be very honest and very straightforward in filling out the survey. And I think Razed will do a great job. All right, and next question is from Sammy and Betty. Yay, something. It's like co-ops versus other housing options. Can you live in a co-op and eat? All right, so co-ops, I think co-ops are awesome. Depends on what kind of person you are. So for me, I really enjoyed living in a co-op. I lived in Tank, which to me I think is the best co-op to live in. I had a lot of fun. I ate in KHC freshman year, and I lived in 8 in Tank. I think my only problem was by the end of the year, people kind of became careless about cleaning. Some people didn't mind. For me, I lived next to the single bathroom, so I literally cleaned it every day by myself, and I used it, so it wasn't a big deal to me. And I would have lived in a co-op if I didn't live in a house with my current friends. So it's definitely recommended. What's the other question? Can you live in a co-op but eat at a dining hall? There are some co-ops. If you live in a co-op, you have to eat there, or you have to eat in another co-op. But you can live in a dorm and also eat in a co-op, because there are some living, like there's Fair Kid and there's KHC and there's actually all the co-ops you can eat in them, so that's different. And how does work-study function with co-op responsibilities? Yeah, that's the question. I work 20 hours a week, so I have a job, and I'm a Bonner Scholar, and I also do. If you have other jobs, you can get time aid, and you can get some off. And otherwise, it's very doable. Like, people in co-ops are very understandable, so it's not a big problem. You can always get some people to cover your shifts for you, and just you could work around it. Yeah, someone else should talk now.
I can go next, I guess. I am in my last semester at Oberlin, and I just started eating in a co-op this semester. Because before this semester, I guess I was worried about basically about doing work study and then having to do co-op responsibilities. That was like a major factor for why I didn't want to do a co-op. But now that I'm actually eating in a co-op, I live in an apartment where I am right now, but I eat in Old B. It's worked out super well. I think the way it works in Old B is that with 5 hours working for work study, you can take off 1 hour of your co-op responsibilities. So that has worked out really nicely. And yeah, would totally recommend eating in a co-op just generally. I've made a lot of friends, kind of at the last minute, who I wish I'd met sooner, I guess. But I've made a lot of friends eating in Old B, so would recommend eating in a co-op even if you don't live there.
Yeah, I think the co-op system here is one of the coolest parts about Oberlin. That's just so just so Oberlin. And I tried to live in a co-op at one point with my roommate, but because it's a lottery system, we didn't get in. Every co-op definitely has their own personality, so I really recommend talking to current Oberlin students to find out sort of what the different co-ops are like when you're really considering that. But eating in a co-op, I've eaten in 3 co-ops at this point. I'm now in Old B, like Emily, but I was in Pyle, which is just a dining co-op. So everyone there, no one lives there. It's just dining. And I mean, one of my favorite things was the different jobs that they have. So I was an accessibility rep for Pyle, so I helped manage any tensions in the co-op. We planned a lot of cool bonding games. We helped plan larger workshops for all of OSCA, the entire co-op system, on privilege and oppression. It was really awesome. And then another really cool thing are the special meals that are different themes.
Okay. So I don't live in a co-op, nor do I eat from a co-op, but I definitely eat at dining halls. Yay! So if you don't already know, there are 3 dining halls on campus. The main one that everyone basically goes to is called Stevenson, or for short Stevie. That's buffet style, and it's just a lot of food. Then there's Dascombe, and that's a first-year dorm actually. So a lot of people just come downstairs and just grab food and go back upstairs. And they have a more limited sense of food, but if you know how to work it around, you can basically feed yourself. You're never gonna go hungry. And then the last place is at African Heritage House, which is A House for short.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is considered soul food of campus because it has really great food. It's also buffet style, and they have a lot more desserts. I'm just saying.
It's
Generally,
the best one, let's be honest.
By far the best. Overwhelmingly the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But for me, even though I eat in dining halls, I do also cook a lot. So if you get the chance to live in a dorm that has a pretty nice kitchen, use it to your advantage. I always use the kitchen at Third World, so I actually end up eating at dining halls because I have time to do that. And also, if you don't already know about meal plans, there's just you'll get a meal plan. You get to pick meals you have per week, basically. Like right now, I'm on a 14 meal plan, but I'm reducing it to 12, and you get flex points with it that you can use to like buy stuff on campus. But yeah. Next question. What involvement do you have with the local community?
I can answer this. Yeah,
Stop
so
laughing.
I don't do this quite as much anymore because I just have not that much time. But I did this program where we go into the local schools and we teach them music. So I was basically giving private lessons, and that was really fun. It was really cool to work with kids who maybe didn't like have the opportunity, I guess, to take private lessons in the same way before, and to sort of be that guy is always a lot of fun. I started like talking a lot with the band director about the different students and what they needed, and like trying to help them become better musicians. So that was really, really fun. This semester, it's like their band class is in a specific time. So this semester I had a class during that time, so I couldn't do it. But that was really fun. I think that's called Music Mentors is the official name of that program. But it's private lessons. It was really fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, I can go next. I worked freshman year, my first semester, with America Reads. So I worked at the Oberlin Early Childhood Center, which was great, just working with the little ones. I also worked with FAVA, which is the Firelands Association for the Visual Arts. They have classes that teach arts to students. So I know almost all the students, all the little kids in Oberlin. I worked with them. It's a lot of fun. I also worked with the Du Bois Project, which is it's making math fun for kids. So that's really just having a lot of games for kids to jump around and do some simple math problems and algebra and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. I also work right now at the Oberlin Heritage Center, which is a great place that everyone should go to and visit. I give tours over there. I'm a docent, and I also do a lot of historical research. So they have like 3 historic houses, and I meet all kinds of people like from the community and also from other places, especially during like parents' weekends or like commencement or other times. We have a lot of visitors in Oberlin that come and they want to know about the history of Oberlin and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. And also, what else? I worked last summer. I stayed in Oberlin a lot in the summer, so I worked with the Heritage Center and FAVA as well. So they have a lot of summer camps for kids, and I also got to teach one camp. It's like an architecture camp, so since that's what I'm interested in, I got to teach a lot of things. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I actually worked just today at the Heritage Center. It's fun. Yeah, who wants to go next?
Hi, Jocelyn, do you want to go? Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's so many opportunities to get involved in the community. I've been doing it since first semester freshman year to sort of get out of the Oberlin bubble. I love it. I've really mainly focused on working in the schools, but there's a ton of other opportunities with like the local food pantry and the library. But yeah, I was in charge of a tutoring program for Spanish and French in the high school. I also I did a class. I got class credit with this class called Practicum in Tutoring. So I helped out with the middle school Spanish teacher 3 times a week. And then, like I said, now I teach Spanish to 3rd graders, also for class credit. And actually, my meeting just got canceled, so I'll be able to stay for longer in the panel. But I just love being part of the larger Oberlin community. One of my favorite things to do is to go to the public library for finals instead of to the college library, because the college library is filled with like stressed out college students, and the Oberlin Public Library is wonderful, And I just love that because it's such a small, tight-knit community and it's so easy to get involved. I like run into my students there, and it's just really wonderful.
Should I still answer this question, or should we move? Okay, I will. I'm going to.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, as an environmental studies major, I took you have to take the intro class, which is environment and society, and one of the components is like an experiential, hands-on, I don't know, community-based project. And so I had friends who like worked to, I think, organize a parade, and then some of them worked at like at one of the elementary schools or one of the middle schools and coordinated something there. And I went to George Jones Farm and helped with, which is like a farm probably 2 miles away from campus, and I worked with farm animals. And that's not generally my thing, especially as like urban studies interest. I don't know how much I want to be on a farm. But it was still like a really cool opportunity just to get like off campus and into the sun and onto like a field and hanging out with like farm animals and helping plant and grow all these different things and build these like little constructions. It was a really cool opportunity, and like definitely not one that I would have had otherwise. That's part of the reason why I also like environmental studies, just because it gives me, I don't know, I feel like I can take a lot of what I'm learning and like actually implement it in real life, and it's been really interesting in that way. So yeah. Oh, and I guess I'm asking question 6. So question 6 from Claire. Hi, Claire. Can someone talk about the community around anime, manga or manga?
Either one.
Okay. And Asian culture at Oberlin? Question.
So I'm gonna take over this question. This is right down my alley, like right up my alley. Okay. So first off, I took a first-year seminar on Japanese religion and pop culture, manga and anime. So literally, this is a class that you can take for credit, and it goes, you get the credit. Like, hey, who doesn't want that? And it was a really, really good class. It was very intensive writing because you're writing a bunch of essays because it is a first-year seminar. But it was really cool because you, instead of looking at like I don't know, like other readings, you're reading either manga books, you're watching anime, you are reading also about religion as well, like, Buddhism, Shintoism, but they're all related back to anime and how, like, the Japanese people, like, see religion, basically, in these mediums. And it's just such a cool class. Like, I love that class so much. It was, like, I had to, like, watch a movie. It was, you had to watch, like, one of the Miyazaki movies. So, like, we had to watch Spirited Away and, like, Princess Mononoke, and it's like, this is homework, but you get to watch it. Like, what? Who does that for homework? Also, the community around anime and manga here on campus, I mean, you get a lot of it, like, kind of like everywhere, because if you're interested in it, you will definitely find someone else that's interested in it. Like, for example, my entire first semester of Oberlin, in my dorm specifically, we literally sat in the lounge and just watched anime, like, basically every single day. So it was just, like, it was, like, so bad because we had, like, so many people in, like, one little tiny room. We just watched a bunch of anime. It was just, like, what is going on? And around, okay, and then what was it? Asian culture. So there's a really predominant Asian culture, I feel like, at Oberlin, especially in one of the dorms, Asia House.
Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you can talk about that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to like steal your thunder or anything like that.
No, it's okay.
I'm actually right now in Asia House. So, most of my friends also live here, and most of them are also East Asian Studies majors, which is really cool. Specifically about, like, this is the place to be. If you're in, like, Claire, Asia House is probably where you want to be, because the halls are lined up and down with people who share the same interests. I mean, I didn't take a freshman seminar on anime, so that's, like, awesome. That's really cool.
There's actually going to be a religion class next year.
Ooh.
So not just a first year seminar, but, like, the actual class. So if you want to take it.
Is that fall semester? Or is it which semester? First semester?
I think it's spring semester. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so actually, it's funny because before I came here, I like oh wait. I'm Batman. Uh, I didn't know that much about like anime. I wasn't super into it. A lot of my friends were, but I never really like spent the time on it. And it ended up being like something fun I could do with my friends. Yes, ambiance. Look at all the. So like I watched all of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my gosh!
This is just awesome. With Luke, actually, the same guy I talked about earlier. We also watched like all of Attack on Titan together. We've been going through like Avatar and Legend of Korra. Like I don't know, it's a good time and a really good I don't know thing to do with friends, and it's always just a lot of fun. But even like K-pop. Huge in these hallways. You can hear it when people take showers. They play it off of their phone and like sing along, which is hilarious and awesome. And like I don't know, Asia House is where you want to be, Claire, probably. So yeah, it's a really cool place. I'm gonna go turn on the light again. I don't know why it does this because I'm clearly here and moving. So I'm not really sure.
It's a ghost.
Yeah, I am actually a ghost. I'm revealing my true identity here.
Okay, so I guess I'm up. I'm Naquan. I'm a little late. I am a freshman. I go by he, him, his. My major most likely will be studio art, which it was not when I first started, but you know, things change when you get here. Let's see. Things I do on campus. I'm a Bonner Scholar, and I also tutor at Eastwood, which is the school for the younger children here, and in the Oberlin, like the community. And tonight they actually were doing their kindergarten introduction. So all the parents brought their kids in, and the parents talked with all the kindergarten teachers, and I helped out just watching the younger ones, which is obviously, you know. Well, I was a little late, but I'm here now. It's all good. I think that's it.
All right.
Okay, I'll answer the next question. So question, did you take a first year seminar? What is the first year's, what was it? And how was your experience? I took a freshman seminar called, what was it called? Heretics and Infidels. It was really cool. It was about like the Crusades and the Inquisition. And I didn't know very much about it going into it at all, but it was really cool to read because a lot of we've talked a lot about like identity politics and what it means to identify as like a particular race or ethnicity or religion and all of that. And it's been interesting to see how different themes from that class, like from the first class I've ever taken at Oberlin, and how it's kind of tied into the rest of my experience and just thinking about, I don't know, myself and my life. Yeah, it was really cool, and my advisor was fantastic. My advisor was my professor, and so it was really nice. I remember there was this one day when I don't even remember what happened. Like, I just was having a bad day, and I think I came to class just looking kind of down, and she actually, like, emailed me afterwards and was like, hey, I noticed that you looked kind of bummed. Like, are you doing okay? It was just like a great, like, oh my goodness, I have a second mom. This is great. Yeah, it was really sweet. So yeah, my first year seminar was really like a pretty solid experience, and at the very least, I like have friends from that class, and am at the very least still friendly with most of them. Yeah.
I can go next. I took a first year seminar called Tolstoy's War and Peace, and I've always been really into literature. That's pretty fair to say, but I'd never really had a great experience in an English class. Like, I loved books and I knew that, but I'd never really loved like studying books in school, and it never really like got me intellectually excited, I guess. But this class was just so amazing. People talk up War and Peace for a reason. It is a great book, and getting to spend a full semester reading the book really in depth is really excellent, especially with my professor who's like an expert on Tolstoy. His focus academically is the writing of Tolstoy. And yeah, it was just a really great class that convinced me that I wanted to study literature. And I've never taken another class with the professor, but we like still talk when we see each other in the hallways. At the end of that semester, I had a brunch with the rest of the class at his house, which we were going to have be like Russian themed, but I don't think that ended up quite panning out. I think we had caviar. I think that was our War and Peace touch. But yeah, so definitely would recommend a first-year seminar. That was a really great experience for me.
For me, I didn't really know what was the first-year seminar program or what YSP was. I took the religious thought of Gandhi because I thought that sounded very interesting, and I study arts mostly, but it was really interesting to take a religion class. I had a lot of fun, and the professor was the best part of it because she was just awesome. I didn't know writing very well. I didn't write very well at the beginning, and I got one of my writing requirements done because of this class, and the professor was awesome. She always met with the students, tried to help us out, and she said, like, I want you to get an A, so just like meet with me whenever you want, and I can help you out in your essays and everything. And until now, actually, when I see her in the college, she would say hi to me, and she remembers my name. She was great. So it was really nice to have like a seminar type of class my first semester in Oberlin. It was very interesting, and that's why I think people should do it. All right, next question. What's your favorite class and favorite professor? Does anyone want to go?
I can take this one.
Yeah.
I have a couple favorite classes. Weirdly enough, I didn't actually take a freshman seminar, although, but I feel like most people say like whoever the professor was for the freshman seminar was their best professor. So like I don't know. I had a discrete math professor, Jack Calcutt, and discrete math is a very strange subject because it's all proofs. All of it is just like logic and like dense proofs. And it's really hard to make that exciting. Like it's very difficult stuff to like be pumped about. But Professor Calcutt was always like, he brought so much energy to class, and like he would get worked up talking about whatever was on the board. And it just got really exciting, and when you got close to like proving whatever it was you were trying to learn about or figuring it out, everyone in the class got kind of pumped, and like it was the most sort of energetic and exciting math class I've ever taken, which is kind of counterintuitive. And you'd end the class being like, hell yeah, like I can do discrete math, this is awesome, I totally get it. And then you try the homework and it'd be impossible, and you'd be like, oh. But, you know, like, that level of, like, he clearly just really enjoys and is really good at helping people just get really pumped about math. So, I don't know, I was a big fan of that, for sure. Yeah.
I can go, and then I'm gonna have to go, or then I'm gonna have to leave. I'm currently in this class called American Urbanism with Gregor Mattson, and it's just a really, I don't know, it's so interesting. It's a sociology class, and he's broken it down, and so we talked about like crime and race and like the institutional ghetto, and then we talked about different immigrant cultures and like suburbs and gentrification. We're on the gentrification unit right now. And it's just been really cool. Like, he's such a fun person to just listen to. And so that's been really cool. And then I'm also in this class called Pop Culture in Latin America. And my professor started off by, she's so funny. Or she's really cool. But she started off by being like, guys, I'm an activist and an academic. I want you guys to be able to enjoy this as much as I do, and I want to learn from you as much as I learn. I want you to learn. I want to learn from you as much as you learn from me. You get it. And so she just really set the tone, and it's been really interesting, like learning about, I don't know, just different aspects of Latin America and like what that means and everything. Yeah. So anyway, that's my life. Also, I have to go. I have to go to my OWL session, which again is like after class tutoring kind of thing for like drop-in tutoring for anybody who wants it. Because I have a test tomorrow. So bye. See you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks.
luck.
Bye.
Bye. Did I just close this? Yeah, I'm out.
So I was so excited to even like see this question because I'm just so obsessed with like so many classes here and professors.
Yo.
And yeah, I'm just all about it. And so the top two classes I've taken here, as a senior, are social psychology with Cindy France. Like, it actually changes lives. If you come here, you have to take it. Most applicable class ever. And Latinos, Latinas in Comparative Perspective with Gina Perez, who actually is not here this semester. And that was one of my classes for my Comparative American Studies classes. And I loved that class so much, and my major, because also I found it really applicable. Like, we would read about gentrification or about, like, so many things. How Spanish and power dynamics play out, and just so many things. And I would just walk around all the time and be like, oh my god, this concept's happening. Oh my god, this is happening. And it just blew my mind.
Okay, I can go next. It's so hard to pick like a top professor or a top class. But the first class that comes to mind is a class I took in my second semester at Oberlin, actually. It was History and Structure of the English Language with Jennifer Bryan in the English department. That class was just so good. It was one of those classes where like it's people from like all different types of majors, and it talks about how English has evolved over time, like what shifts in power have contributed to actual like structural changes in the language and like led to the English that we speak today. We also looked a little bit at like at literature, kind of through the ages, so a little bit of like Arthurian stuff, a little bit of medieval literature. We learned how to read Old English, which was so cool. Like, it's so satisfying when like I think our first assignment for that class was Jen Bryan just like gave us a passage in Old English, and we had to translate it by next class with no help, and she gave us like no resources. And at first I was just like, oh my god, like, Jen, what are you doing? We're never going to be able to do this. But after I spent like 15, 30 minutes with it, all of a sudden I was like able to pick out cognates, and by the end like everyone knew exactly what the story was, and it was just so cool. Another really great class, I'm gonna not say the name exactly right, but it was with Pat Day, also in the English department actually, and that was on postmodernity and imagination, contemporary literary theory. I think that was the full title of the class. And it was one of those classes that was like so confusing on a day-to-day basis. Like, we would get these readings and just be totally baffled, and we'd all come to class and just be like, Pat, what is going on? And he would explain it so clearly in a way that was like not patronizing at all, just really engaging but still intellectual. And I feel like I'm still processing things that I learned in that class, and that the theories that I learned just are so applicable to everything in my life. Oh yeah, Pat Day was my aunt's advisor. That's cool. Okay, I guess I will ask the next question if no one else wants to answer that last one. Okay. Number 9, how have you been mentored at Oberlin? Where have you found your mentors? I guess I have an answer for this, if no one else wants to go first. So I declared my comparative literature major during my second year, and I had like a great advisor for that major. That was really wonderful. But I feel like the like true mentors that I've actually found in my senior year, weirdly enough. I declared my German major after I returned from a year abroad, and everyone in the German department is just a literal angel on this earth. Like, they're all just the most wonderful people, and I don't feel like they get to interact with a lot of the student body because not everyone speaks German. But everyone in that department has just, whenever I have a problem or I need advice or I needed help for applying with a fellowship or something like that, they were just like right there with me, helping me every step of the way. I just like cannot talk up the German department enough. But I've gushed enough, so I'll let someone else talk.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of mentors, so immediately what comes to my mind is in the con, my professor, my trombone instructor. He's really, really good, but he's also so relaxed and friendly. And every time we have a lesson, we start off just catching up with each other, doing a little check-in, like, what have you been up to? Like, what cool projects have you been working on? Are you okay? Like, so I feel like I've formed a really strong sort of relationship with my trombone professor. So that's really cool. Also, there's a program in the Career Center that's like, I forget the official name of it. Mentorship program. but you apply and then they match you with an alum who might be able to sort of point you in the right directions in terms of internships and whatever. And yeah, so I have a mentor through the Career Center as well. And he knows all sorts of people. He's hooked me up with a couple of his, like, I don't know, friends who live around the bay, and like ask them if they have internships or whatever that I could do. But also, like, I have this project that I've been working on for a little while that isn't a class. It's just something that I took on to myself. And he's sort of helped me take an abstract idea, I guess, of something that I think would be cool to exist, and then focus my energy a little bit more into, like, I have this abstract idea of something I think is cool. What exactly does it look like? What exactly does it do? How do we get there? He's sort of helped me work on that, and that's not directly related with like internships or break things or anything like that. But he's been a person who I can bounce ideas off of, or and will also kind of help me feel like I'm doing work not by myself, basically. Like, he's been able to sort of help me, like, be motivated, I guess, to do that. So that's also a really, really good thing.
All right, I'm next. Sorry. I've had mentors all over the place in Oberlin. First thing, Career Center, definitely. People should not be afraid of going there because people just really love to help others. There's always a question, like an answer to any question anyone has. Whenever I'm even not sure if Career Center is the right place to be in to ask my question or to kind of get help, they will help me out. They will connect me to others. But I guess my actual mentor is someone who is in Kendall, which is a retirement home that's not too far from campus. It's an awesome place. I spend most of my time in Kendall. They're awesome people. And someone, his name is John, and he's at Kendall. He's an alum who graduated from Oberlin about 62 years ago. And it's awesome. He knows everything. He's very, very active on campus. He knows so many people. He knows almost all professors and everything that's happening around Oberlin. So it's been really great to know him and his wife, and they both know just everything. And even every semester before I register for classes, they would ask me, and it's like, oh, there's also this class, because they still take classes. They're just awesome. So they've been like advisors and mentors to me. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And also my current advisor has been, it's John Harwood, and he's an art history professor. And I've taken all of his classes. I'm taking 5 classes with him so far, and I plan on taking my 6th one soon next year. He's awesome, and he's very supportive. And yeah, I think it's very easy to find like sources for mentorship. That's the word. Yeah. So it's all good. There, next question.
Oh no, isn't Jossie going to answer this question?
Yeah, Jesse's got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Jocelyn.
Cool. So yeah, the faculty and staff here are amazingly supportive, like incredible, and I don't even think I realized that until second semester sophomore year. I was taking 5 classes. I was way too overcommitted, and I had a breakdown during finals. And my friend was like, "You should go talk to the dean, like our class dean," and because she had done that a few weeks previously because her and her boyfriend broke up. And I was like, what are you talking about? I had not even known that was a thing, like that I had those resources. And like my class dean, Brenda Greer Miller, she was incredible. She became a huge mentor to me. She was so wonderful and supportive. And after that, I really started realizing how many resources I have on campus and how many people just really like care about me and want me to succeed. So my advisor, Meredith Ramondo, who's also a dean, like I meet with her all the time and talk to her about, especially now that I'm a senior, I've been talking to a lot of people about, you know, careers, next steps, and so many people here invested in me. So many people like in the admissions office. I had another sort of crisis there a few weeks ago, and one of the admissions counselors just like started talking to me and worked me through a lot of stuff. So just incredible mentorship and like support opportunities.
All right, next question. Question 10. Can someone talk about substances and campus life? Is there pressure? Can you have social life without it? Yes, you can have a social life without it. It's not the end of the world. And I know a lot of people that, it depends on the person. I know a lot of people who feel a lot of pressure when everyone else is kind of drinking and kind of going crazy around them, but it's definitely doable. I personally don't drink, and I like to have fun. Parties are cool. It depends on the people. So all I know is that people are very understanding. Like if you're not into something, people will definitely understand. No one's gonna bug you about it, and I think that's amazing because like parties, for example, the party scene is awesome. It depends. Like people drink, people do everything, but if you don't want to do it, no one else is going to pressure you to do so. So, yeah, that's not a big deal. And there's definitely not a lot of pressure. But again, it depends on the people. I know some people that say, oh, we want to do it because this person is doing it. But you should just be strong about it, and you can definitely make it. Can someone answer this question too?
I can answer the question. I definitely know a lot of people who do a lot of different substances. For me, I'm not particularly one to do so, but there's this one instance that basically like just like a group of friends and what we did is we did like this kind of like a safe like drinking circle basically, and it was just nice because it wasn't like the pressure of like random people coming up to you and be like, oh, you know, like have a beer or whatever. It was more like we're just sit down, we're gonna play a little game to like not even like it was like what what was the game?
Truth or dare.
Truth or Dare?
No, it wasn't. It was
No?
Never Have I Ever.
Never Have I Ever. See, my roommate knows. We were playing Never Have I Ever, and we're like sitting in a circle, and all we're doing is we're just like testing the waters basically. We had like champagne and like wine, which is like I don't think it's like completely that bad, but like it was a nice environment because it was just like everyone knew each other. We like didn't expect anyone to go out of their comfort zone. Like if you weren't comfortable, then it was okay. If you wanted to do it, then that's okay. And it was just very moderate, and like you can have those kind of things if you want to set up with your own like friend group. But definitely there's like other places on campus for you to try whatever you want, and you don't have to be doing it if you don't feel like it, because no one's gonna ever pressure you that badly to be like, hey, you have to do this. Like you're your own person, you do you, and you're your own individual. So yeah, question 11 from Anonymous. What was your favorite winter term? Oh yeah, okay. Let me okay. So I'm a first year, so I only had one winter term so far, so I can't say I have a favorite winter term. But what I got to do for winter term was I came back home to Chicago, and I basically made a bunch of Vietnamese food and videotaped it and put it on YouTube. So I have like these tutorials on how to make Vietnamese food on YouTube, and I have like a YouTube channel now. So it's really cool. I made like 4 videos. I made like fried rice, egg rolls, this like one like fried salmon dish with like tomato sauce and like an avocado smoothie. So yeah, it was like really nice. It was just really relaxing to like cook and like figure out how to like edit videos and like put it on YouTube. And I actually have 8 subscribers now, so yay.
Cool. That sounds awesome. So I got to Oberlin and I was like, I have no clue what I want to do with my life, and I've only ever lived in Boston. So I decided to try to do a bunch of different internships. And so my favorite one just ended up being the one that just connected with me the most, but all of them were amazing experiences. So the Career Center helped me with everything. They helped me with resumes, cover letters, phone interviews, then finding housing in those places. So even though I'm from Massachusetts, I got to spend my first winter term in LA and the second one in Washington, D.C., and stayed with alumni both times. And the first one was the one that was incredible because I worked for a tenants' rights organization, and I didn't know anything about tenants' rights. But I like fell in love with it. We went door to door, talking to tenants, explaining sort of their like different rules, how working at like a tenants' rights clinic, helping bring like legal claims against slumlords. I got to use my Spanish. It was amazing.
Yeah, winter term for me has been a lot of fun too. My first one, I traveled a lot, but my actual winter term project was teach myself how like AutoCAD and SketchUp and all of the architectural design software, which was a lot of fun because it's very relaxing, and I just watched YouTube tutorials and practiced a lot, and I just like made a final design and showed it to my advisor, and I passed that first winter term. And then the next 2, I did an internship in Chicago, which was a lot of fun with an architecture office. It was awesome. It's the architect is an OB's mom. So one time I was just talking about it. She said, "Oh, my mom is an architect and she works in Chicago." I was like, "Can you put me in touch with her?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." And I talked to her mom. She was awesome, and I might even work with her after graduation. I have no idea, but it's a lot of fun, and it's an awesome opportunity. People can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winter term, yeah, people can do whatever they want. It's so true. So earlier I talked about like the project that I was doing with my mentor. I spent my winter term working on that, basically. Without going too much into it, I basically thought that the ear training like classes that we have here are really good, but aren't like they don't do everything that I would like them to. Specifically, like musical memory. So if I sang like dum dum, like easy to remember. But if I sang like 15 notes, you'd get to the end, you'd be like, I have no idea how this started at all. And that was me. Like, I would listen to something and be like, I have no idea how this started at all. I don't remember what happened 5 seconds ago in this music. And so I was like, how can we address that? Basically, how do you train your musical memory? So basically, I decided, because I'm a computer science guy, I would try to make an app, an iPhone app about that. And so I spent my winter term learning how to make iPhone apps and working on that.
I can go next. Of my 3 winter term years, excuse me, I think I preferred the 2 that I was on campus. So my freshman year, I took a class on weaving that was taught by I think the club sports director. I think that's what she does now, Betsy Bruce, who is a really great person to meet in Oberlin. I really like her. Yeah, so I learned how to weave, but I also had like a lot of kind of ancillary projects. I feel like I've talked to Mayan about this before. I feel like a lot of what's fun about winter term is not like the actual project that you're doing, but like all the additional fun projects that you come up with to do in your free time. So a lot of people in my freshman hall happened to be on campus for winter term too. So we just watched a movie like every single night. We made this huge list of all these movies we might be interested in seeing, and every night we'd like all get together and like make food together and then watch whatever movie. So we'd watch like Fargo, or I think we watched Best in Show. We watched a lot of Christopher Guest. I don't know. We just watched a bunch of movies, and it was really fun. I also, yeah, that was just a great time when I like got close to a lot of the people on my hall and made some of my best friends at Oberlin to this day. So winter term on campus, really fun.
So for my winter term, I did it was my only one, but I did an internship I got through the Career Center from OB Ops, which is like a great thing. It's like the best thing ever. And people in the Career Center were very helpful. Just helped me with my resume so much because it was tragic before. And a lot of hard work went into that resume and cover letter. So I was doing an internship with an organization called GriefNet, which basically composes a list of different counseling areas and hotlines that they distribute to different venues to help people dealing with different types of grief and loss. And that was really good. But like sometimes things don't work out, so like I couldn't actually like finish the whole internship. But the good thing about that was that it wasn't like, well, good luck with that. The next 3 years you'll be doing this. The Career Center let me work out my own winter term, so I ended up researching about grief myself since I was still interested in it. And I wrote a paper on like the things I learned about that. So even if your initial plan does not work, you can always find a backup that will. So you'll get your credit no matter what. Just make sure you contact the school. Don't wait, because then that's when things really get bad.
All right, before you guys go to the next question, I have to run out. So I have to go to a friend's birthday. She's turning 21. So yay. Happy birthday, Louisa. See you guys.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay, sorry. The question is, what are the study abroad opportunities? How did your experience change you? And I would say that everyone should study abroad. Whether you come to Oberlin or not, you should study abroad. So I knew that I wanted to study, and I decided that I wanted to do it for languages. So I wanted to really up my Spanish. So I decided to study in Valparaiso, Chile, for last year spring semester, and it sounds corny, but it did change my life. There's so many opportunities. There's almost 100 affiliated programs, which means that you apply and your financial aid transfers right away. Also, though, if there's a program that you really want to do and Oberlin doesn't have a connection to it, you can petition for it. So my friend really wanted to study marine biology in Australia, like right at the Great Barrier Reef. And so there wasn't a program, so she found one, she petitioned, Oberlin accepted it, and so all her financial aid transferred. And I would say that it really, petitioning means you basically write to Oberlin, to the study abroad committee, and say why you want this specific program and why you think that you should be allowed to go on it, like sort of through Oberlin and get all the credits transferred. To show, like my friend, she had a very legitimate reason because Oberlin didn't have had that like gap in the studies that she liked. And I guess one more thing is just that I went for Spanish. I took all my classes at the university in Spanish with Chileans, and none of those actually counted towards my major. A lot of times people do study for their major, but Oberlin is so flexible with with their requirements that you can study abroad and take a break and do something completely different and usually still be fine, at least if you're studying in the arts or social sciences.
Yeah, so I also studied abroad. I spent my entire junior year abroad in Munich, Germany. So I started taking German in high school during my senior year, and I was pretty lucky in high school. I got to take a couple of foreign languages, and I've been doing Spanish for a lot longer. So I knew I wanted to study abroad for a language, and I figured it would make sense for me to study German so that I could kind of get the languages more even. It didn't really end up working out that way. My German is now much better than my Spanish because I basically went almost an entire year without using my Spanish much at all. But on the whole, my year abroad was the best and most transformative year of my life. It's so like cheesy and cliche, but yeah, it's absolutely the truth. My year abroad gave me like so much more confidence in speaking German, and just that confidence kind of extended to other parts of my life. The friends that I made while I was abroad are just the most amazing people. People from Germany and Austria and the U.S. and Australia, just like all over the world. I went to a very large, very international university while I was taking classes in Munich. I think it was like 40,000 students. So a very different experience from Oberlin. But it was just really great. And I guess I can ask the next question. So what is your favorite musical tradition / event on campus? And I've talked a lot, so I'll let someone else answer.
I will take this. I moved locations because it got really dark. Don't know if y'all noticed. Also, it's really echoing here, and I just realized that. So that's a little awkward. But yeah, favorite musical tradition. There's this thing in the con called Falsetto Christmas. And it's pretty much exactly what you expect it to be. It's a bunch of very presentable, very well-dressed young men who stand in a choir and shriek at the top of their lungs to Christmas songs, traditional Christmas songs, and the Hallelujah chorus is like the pinnacle of this event, and it's pretty much the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's basically like, I mean, it's gold. It's so gold. So that's one of my favorite things. That happens once a year. One of the more frequent things is Jazz Forum. This is maybe me personally because I'm a jazz major. It's what I do. But every Friday at lunchtime, the jazz majors get together and play. And there's a different couple groups who go every week, and it's a really good way to sort of hang out with people and also like hear your peers play really well. And it's great. It happens every week, and I always make sure I don't have class right after lunch on Fridays every semester because I want to go to jazz forum. So that's another one that I really like.
I can't say like which is my favorite tradition because I've only been here for not even an entire year yet. But one of my favorite performances within this year at least was Colors of Rhythm. So to me that was kind of like right at home because it's a performance with, yes, I have the poster right here. Basically it's like a giant performance with like a bunch of different groups on campus. Like there was the Overtones, which is like the all-male a cappella group. There were dancing from like choreo and I don't know, there's like a bunch. Oh, Taika was on it too. Lots of singing. It was just like so much fun, and basically it reminded me back in high school where we had a thing called International Days, and that's basically when like a bunch of ethnic clubs came all together and like danced their own traditional dance within the group, and like that's kind of like how it reminded me of because there's so many people, talented people, just like doing all this fun stuff. But yeah, it was wonderful. I was so hyped up for that.
I guess I can go next. I'll try to go really quickly since I guess we're running out of time. But my favorite musical tradition is definitely study break, which is technically called a cappella study break. It's when all of the a cappella groups perform together during midterms week each semester. I've sung a cappella since my first semester at Oberlin with Nothing But Trouble, Oberlin's oldest all-female a cappella group. Killing it. And I think in that first semester there were 5 groups that performed an a cappella study break. This semester there were, I think, 7 or 8. So the a cappella scene at Oberlin is just gotten so much stronger even in the 4 years that I've been here, gotten so much more popular and diverse and interesting. Yeah, just got a lot of love for Oberlin a cappella. I sang my last a cappella study break recently, and it was like, it's very emotional. Many emotions were felt. Okay, and I will ask the last question. What advice would you give to yourself in your first week of college? Ooh, I didn't prepare an answer for this, so does someone want to go while I think?
I guess I can go. So, one thing I didn't realize was that you had to bring, like, so certain dorms, they have laundry machines with quarters in them, and so if you can't swipe, you have to put quarters in them, and so, like, halfway through the semester, I ran out of quarters. I'm just like, what is going on? And so, before you come to campus, or if, you know, whatever, in college in general, just bring a ton of quarters. Just bring quarters. And also, just, like, not to forget too much, because I came to college thinking that it was going to be so difficult and I wasn't going to handle it. But, you know, you'll get used to it, and then eventually you're just going to get into the groove, and you're like, you know what, this is cool. I like college. And also, bring a fan, because it will get so hot during the summer. Like, it does not matter. Like I know, like, Asia House has air conditionings, lucky, but, like, other dorms don't. And so you're just steaming in oh my god, it's just terrible. And technically you're not supposed to bring this, but in the winter, like, I have my own, like, little, like, miniature heater, so if it gets too cold, like, I just whip that out, like, okay, like, I don't care anymore. But yeah. And lastly, bring, like, bring utensils, and bring, like, a bowl and a plate, because
Real talk.
And dish soap, like dish soap. That is so true, because people will use all of your dish, like they'll use like all the public dish soap or whatever, and then like people won't wash your dishes, and so you're just gonna have to wash your own dishes with like your own like dish soap. It was so bad. But yeah, like bring all of your own things, because like some people will like use it without your permission, even though like you mark your name on it or whatever. But that's something good to know.
Something I thought was terrifying at first, and then grew to really, really enjoy, is like sitting down to eat food with random strangers. It's weird at first, at least it was for me, because they're random strangers. But it ended up being a really, really good way, especially for me not living in a freshman dorm. It became a really good way to meet other people and other freshmen specifically. So it was really funny, but after a while I kind of enjoyed it, because you get to sort of like meet and hear about really interesting people's lives, the other people who are at Oberlin, and like we talked about this right at the beginning, like so many people here are interested in so many really cool and just like awesome things. So I don't know, that was something that I did and I really, really, really enjoyed in my first week. Was just like sitting with random strangers. Anyone?
So what I would say is, in terms of orientation in particular, orientation is going to be really overwhelming, and you're going to meet so many people, and you're not going to remember their names, and that's okay. There are people you will meet that you never talk to again. Like, just let it, just like go with it. Because I talk to so many first years, because I've helped, like I've worked with helping first years orient themselves, and they're always like, I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm like, wait till classes start. Like, it's just gonna be crazy. But so that's like orientation, like take it with a grain of salt. But then at least your first week at Oberlin in particular, I don't know about other schools, like it's so easy to just like dive in and get involved in a million things. And I actually know a lot of people who, so I know a lot of people who were like, I don't want to get involved in too much stuff because I want to just like go with first year. Like, obviously you need to see how it is, but I think it's really awesome to get involved like right away and try a lot of things, because it takes time to figure out what you want. But at Oberlin, there's like this huge culture of busyness that can be like really overwhelming and like really like a cycle, and it's bad. So also just don't try to get like sucked into the busyness right away.
Kind of piggybacking off of what you just said, if that's okay. The culture of busyness is the realist, the absolute realist. And I think the best way to combat that at the beginning is to prioritize sleep, which sounds like such a mom thing, I know. But seriously, you need sleep. If you don't sleep, you will perform worse in your classes, even though you don't think you're performing worse in your classes. I've read studies about this because I care about sleep and want other people to care about it too. You just are not as fun a person to be around. It's harder to think when you're not sleeping. Just please sleep. Please, please sleep. No matter what college you end up at. Also, some advice on like packing for things, which I know is not necessarily like first week at Oberlin, but like when you're preparing for your first week at Oberlin, you will overpack, accept that you will overpack, but try not to do it even so. Just pack the stuff that you're really actually gonna need. That includes gear for the rain. Someone mentioned rain boots in this little chat that we have going on. You need rain boots. It doesn't matter if they look dorky. You need rain boots. You need a raincoat. This is Ohio. But yeah, try not to overpack because not all rooms are big. Some of them are big and ridiculous like mine, but some of them are not. And you don't want to have too much stuff for your space. I guess that's it.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
wait, you can go. This is cute. I think the biggest thing that's like overall that I'm still telling myself is like life is going to happen. So a bunch of things happened when I first got here. Like I immediately lost my ID, locked myself out, forgot where I lived. Bills started showing up for things I didn't even know I could get billed for, and I was like, this is a lot. All the different orientations that I think I'm supposed to go to. And then on top of all that, people are like, oh, it's orientation week, come party with us. And it's like, every night, are you sure? So it's very easy it's very easy to wake up and be like, what am I doing? Like, how am I going to manage all this? And you just have to know, like, life is going to happen. You can make a plan, schedule it out, and you'll definitely like work through it. You just have to plan, know your limits. Also, don't bring anything you don't need. Like this coffee maker that I have, I don't even drink coffee. This is a waste of space. A TV you do need, though. I will say this. I have a TV. I use it every night.
Netflix.
Yo, that's awesome.
Someone else's Netflix, not your own. Someone else's. Someone else's everything. Get all the passwords before you leave. HBO, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever you need to do, get it. Also, talk to your parents because they will give you money and you are going to need it. Just saying. I thought I would be like independent. And when you had to do laundry and you were out of clothes, there's only one person who cares enough to give you the money, and that is the parent you have not called in a week. Call them.
So I forgot something really important. Like I came to Oberlin really, really intention on being a bio major because of like really like I came from a very like traditional like Vietnamese family, and it's always that like, oh, you have to do this and be successful and all that stuff. Like it's very typical, but like that was like a reality for me, and I'm thinking like, man, I gotta deal with this. Like like I'm like trying to see like what I have to do for a bio major, and I'm like looking at it, it's like crazy, and like what is this? It's like I have to deal with this, like what? But eventually right now, even though it's really early for me, I kind of like tried to like be a little bit more open-minded, and basically now where I am is that I'm doing something really, really fun, and I'm trying to like work on a project, like an independent project for myself. And now instead of being like, oh, bio major this and like science all that, I'm like trying to do something that is for me. And I think it's really important to understand that don't use don't be pressured by your family or anyone else on what you have to do in college, because this is your experience. This is for you and you only. And eventually you're going to love what you're going to do. So don't be scared to try different things. There's so many classes at Oberlin. Like you're definitely going to find something that you like. There's like, that's a guarantee. And also, lastly, so just make sure to clean after yourselves, and maybe bring some like air freshener, because legit people stink. Like some people just don't take showers. Like there are private bathrooms here. Like there is no excuse for you not to take a shower. Like that is so sad. And literally people stink so much, and it's like, bring some BO, do something about it. I don't care. Like I don't want to be smelling your BO like in front of me. Like you clean after yourself, please. I am so sorry. It's so aggressive, yeah, but it's a real problem. Like you would think that you wouldn't have to deal with that in college because, like oh yeah, people are going to be adults. They're going to know like how to live. But it's like people don't know how to wash their dishes. Like what is that? So it's like be prepared for people to like go backwards in time and like be like a little kid and not know what to do after themselves, and like you're gonna deal with that. But yeah, really like just take care of yourself, self-care. If you need like you know, like if you're having a really rough day, don't be scared to email your professors and tell them that I need this day off. Like I am feeling so horrible right now. Like I cannot physically go, you know, do that and they'll definitely understand and it's not going to be like anything terrible. You're not going to, you know, like ruin the rest of your life because you missed one class or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Especially in first year.
Also, don't lie on those forms that you have to fill out about where you're living with, because people have to live with you. Don't lie. If you are
For
actually
real.
I'm in a single now. That is not how I started out. Be clean. Come to Oberlin.
Yay!
Yay!
And on that beautiful, lovely note, you should come to Oberlin. Thank you, all of our panelists still here, the panelists that have departed. If you have any lingering questions, if anything has kind of come up to the top of your head after all of our delightful panels, throw them into the comments on the Oberlin blogs. We will get them to somebody to answer them for you. To everyone who has watched both live and in the future, thank you so much for asking things. If you have any questions for us, the Oberlin blogs are there for you. They're full of wonderful, fantastic Oberlin human beings like Emily and also other people who have joined our panels in the past. Yay! Hey, blogs. Come to Oberlin. We're exciting. And have a really, really awesome evening /month/year. Woo!